Hello and welcome to Dream Team Coach TV, brought to you by Betway. I'm Sean Burke. Joining me is Nick Elliott, Andy Taylor and Jack Townsend. Coming up on this week's show.
You put me up top with Mbappe last night. I might get on the end of one.
Famously, you don't want to go up 4-0 up too early in the game. Alex Ferguson always used to say that. Lads, just don't go up to 4-0 too early.
Oh! He's done us there.
It's not a burn, it's just a fact.
One word, yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Nick.
Maybe?
You've gone too far. That's it. I'm ending the show now. Man United have suffered a couple of disappointing results over the past few weeks, most recently drawing with second from bottom West Brom. Lucky for them, they already won the league in December. But back here in the real world, things are looking a little bit shaky. And if star man Bruno Fernandes doesn't show up, Man United just aren't quite the same intimidating prospect. Yes or no, lads? Are Man United a one-man team?
Yes.
Let's go.
One word,
Jack.
yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Nick.
Maybe? I don't know.
That wasn't an option.
We often talk about one-man teams in a kind of like derogatory way, as if it's like, as if you win because you've got one really good player, it somehow doesn't count.
I guess the point is, are they overly reliant on someone like Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah, that's probably fair. But I mean, again, I don't think this Man United team's not like, perfectly polished kind of end goal thing. So for the moment, if we've got one really good player who we are quite reliant upon, we don't want to be like this forever. But at the moment, he's going to fire us to the Champions League. United are far from the only team who really rely on one player. Harry Kane as well, obviously. Yeah,
they rely a lot on Kane. Andy, what do you think?
I mean, I think probably Man United fans would say Marcus Rashford for starters, as a caveat to that. But I don't know. I'm just not having Rashford mainly. I just think he's a very good player, but he's not that level of Bruno, and I don't think he's going to drag Man United to win a league title. Just because you watch a game like they did against West Brom, and West Brom were comfortable. I think if anything, West Brom should have won the game, and that should not be the case. I mean, to be honest, the biggest one for me, and I don't want to go in on someone, but Anthony Martial. Honestly, the geezer just does not impress me every time I see him. I think he scored like 4 league goals this year. I don't know what Man United fans think of him. I generally see quite good things about Martial, but every time, and I watch Man United quite a bit because naturally TV companies get every single one of their games on TV, so I am forced to at least watch them once a week.
Forced. Matchsticks on your eyes. Sally's like taped you to a chair.
Cavani's come in and shown what a real striker should be up top, and Cavani's quality. It's just a shame that he's at the back end of his career. Yeah, I just don't know. Do you think a club of that stature should really be reliant on someone like Bruno, particularly with the money that they've spent? Like when I look at Van Dijk's influence on Liverpool, and I'm not comparing Van Dijk to Maguire here at all, but I'm just looking at money spent. You'd want Maguire to be that sort of influence on United, and he just isn't. I don't think personally United should be reliant so heavily on one player. But Nick, you're right. That is a legitimate way of doing it, but it's not a long-term strategy, is it?
Not at all. And, but it's kind of that thing of like, it's better than having no players to rely upon. Do you know what I mean? Like you could, in the current, the way the season is and the way that some of the big teams have been recently, Arsenal were a big team that are down in mid-table because they had one player they were really relying upon who, went a long time without scoring goals.
Okay, we'll hold fire on the chat for a few minutes as it's time for the 4 to Score challenge. This week, our sponsor Betway has set us a Caption competition in honor of Roy Keane joining Instagram. No, that's not a joke. That actually happened. And he's already provided us with a few gems. So I've prepared 4 photos of Keane from over the years. Each of you will provide a caption, and our ever impartial producer Graz will judge the winner with the help of our trusty laughometer.
Right, I'm ready to be, entertained.
Okay, let's start with a classic. All right, Jack, do you want to go first?
Oh, I had 2 options for this. I kind of went down the avenue of
We don't need a backstory, Tam.
And I'm definitely going to cut it out if we get one.
No, what I'm saying is I'm doing it from the perspective of Roy actually doing the captions. So I went, those 4 lads off the memes haven't got anything on me, Yappy, Butty and Posh Spice. There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was Billy O.T. The winds blew hard and the plow dipped down, but blow me a Billy boys, blow. Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar, tea and rum. One day when the tongue is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Full article, Jack. We're looking for the headline.
It's a no from me, Jack, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, thankfully, you're not judging. Let's see what you've got then.
When the teacher picks up the ball and says, lunchtime's over.
Nice. I like that. Relatable. Nick?
What do you mean there's only 15 minutes stoppage time? Don't you know we're drawing? You know, it's a classic. It's a Fergie time joke.
It's a Fergie
Classic
time joke.
Fergie time joke.
Nice.
I like that. Grass?
I have to say that I did laugh the most at the ball. Taking the ball back,
Take the
Andy's.
ball away. Andy Taylor.
Oh!
Next up, even further back.
Roy Hood.
Roy Hood.
Is that it? Is that just the whole caption?
No, that's not mine. No.
Okay, sorry.
That's just, I'll give you that for free.
Oh, I appreciate
Well, he's
it.
dishing them out.
Okay, I said, don't worry, ladies. My sword isn't making up for my little John. Hashtag big energy. Hashtag TBT.
Roy Keane when he spots someone giving less than 100%.
Why does he take the hat out as well?
Take note, and he's also got a smirk. He has got a little smirk on.
Yeah, because he knows he's about to kill them.
Okay.
I just put what Alf Inge Haaland sees when he closes his eyes.
Yeah.
Playful but dangerous. Right?
I mean, I think you can tell that got the best reaction from me. So yeah, that's got to be next round, I think.
Thank you.
We've got Roy poking his head around the corner.
I was struggling with this one. I didn't even get anything really. I imagine it's the look he gives before he absolutely gonna someone. Looks happy, but then switches.
Yeah.
Relish.
Okay.
Gary, I thought you liked the number 2.
All right. Okay. Who's that for? So Gary, who's Gary in this?
Neville?
Gary
Okay.
Neville, yeah. It's a reference to Roy Keane putting 2 fingers up Gary Neville's face.
Okay.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. Okay. Right.
Which, famously, he's done.
He's in a hospital with 2 fingers out like that.
All right. Last, Nick.
Well, I kind of agreed with Andy. It looked like he was in some sort of medical setting. So
Yeah, I
I
see that.
said, when you're halfway through a prostate exam, but someone pulls out of a 50-50 in training.
Come on. Like,
Yeah.
for me, that's a Nick win. I don't know what the comments will say, but
I like that.
that's a Nick win on that one.
Okay. And then finally is another promotional one.
Well, I kind of thought that this one looked like, I don't know, I was trying to play on a bit of hypocrisy angle. So I was like, so you can imagine Roy Keane saying, problem with modern footballers is they're all too focused on marketing and promotion. And that's why I believe in Vodafone's premium customer service.
I like that. All right, Andy.
The awkward moment at the end of the night when your mate just won't go to bed.
Which one's the mate?
So Scholes hanging around. Hanging around.
Yeah.
Roy Keane, it's a done deal for Keane. Scholes is just hanging around. He's like, Paul, any chance, mate? Look, I'm trying to be polite about this, but it's on the cards here, Paul, and you're ruining it at the moment.
Jack, I'm really sorry for you here because it's not been good so far.
Oh, come on. Fingers crossed, this monstrosity. I said, and this, kids, is how I met your mother.
I like that.
That's wholesome.
Paul Scholes was there as
It's
well.
the wholesome version of Andy's me. I mean, at the risk of, you called me like unbiased at the start. At the risk of sounding biased, I feel like it's Nick's again. I know.
All right. 3 in a row. He's done an Mbappe.
Oh, dear.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Of captions. Congratulations.
There it is.
Congratulations to Nick. You're like a Sunday League Shakespeare. Now it's back to the football chat. Did you see the quote from Harry Maguire? He was like, you know, you're not going to come here and have like 10 plus shots against West Brom. And then the stat was like every other team that's come to West Brom has had 10 plus shots this season. It's just weirdly that he specifically said that.
It was also I think only the third time that West Brom have amassed more XG than their opposition this season. Like you look at that result, if you didn't watch a game, you think, oh, it must have been real back to the wall, you know, West Brom digging out a thing. So actually, if anything, could have gone the other way.
Speaking of one-man teams, I'm just curious now. Did anybody else watch the Champions League? Barcelona against PSG. Is Barcelona, is the heyday coming to an end?
Well, it came to an end like 2 years ago.
True.
This is the heyday is still ending. It's just a really long day.
Really.
It's the summer solstice.
It's time for the memes. Each week, our panelists submit a meme to the Dream Team Instagram page, and you folks get to vote for your favorite. So if you're not already following us on Instagram, head on over and get it sorted. First up, I believe.
Yeah, so this is me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, the classic me going Route 1, big team. But, that it was a quote that was going around that from Maguire saying decisions always are going against United at the minute. But I don't know. I don't think it's they're not shy to getting a lot of decisions going their way.
Next up, I think is this Nick?
Goalkeepers having howlers at the weekend. I mean, obviously the one that for the team I support probably had the worst one, but I kind of hoping that no one really knows who Melier is, so I just went for the two bigger names to try and get away with it.
Fair play. Deflect the attention from your club. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Healthy.
It was. I wasn't trying to win. It was just pure propaganda.
I like it. Finally, Andy, another video meme. I like this one. This is an interesting.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the video, I thought James Ward-Prowse and that whip. That whip he gets on a free kick. I can imagine him doing that.
I'm a big fan because we're talking about a non-top six.
Bottom half, actually. Bottom half.
But yeah, to be fair, I think this should win.
I have the results in front of me here, and in last place with 175 votes is Nick. Now, it didn't win, but it deflected the attention from your goalkeeper. It served its purpose, Nick. So that means in second place with 294 votes is Jack Townsend. Which means...
So fair, I'll clap that.
Yeah, the winner this week.
I'll clap that.
Great sources. Andy with 913 votes.
Come on. Congratulations. No one can criticise me this week. It's just a legitimate win. James Ward-Prowse and myself have brought it home.
This weekend, we've got a Merseyside derby, and these games have become a tasty prospect over the past while. Goals flying in, humiliating flops, and crunching tackles. And that's just Jordan Pickford. Speaking of which keeper would you have in goals right now? Alisson or Pickford?
Alisson's obviously going through something at the minute, isn't he?
He's having a tough time.
He's having a tough time, but keepers, it's not like he's making fumbly mistakes. It's just like when the ball's at feet and maybe decision-making when he's chasing out for a ball. That's not on point, but I put that down more to the kind of the uncertainty across the team. He's probably feeling like he's under a lot more pressure than he's had.
Yeah.
I still think he's a quality keeper and he'll get out of this rut, but he certainly, his decision-making with ball at feet is not great at the minute.
I do think Liverpool have been dealt a tough hand, personally. I think, actually, of the last 3 games, they've lost 3 in a row, right, where the stat is that they haven't done that since, I think, 2014 when Ricky Lambert was up top. But City, that's one of the best City sides we've probably ever seen in current form. Like it's unbelievable what they're doing, minus De Bruyne and Aguero. I mean, I'm also not thinking that Pep's a magician, by the way, because that team on paper is still very good. It isn't. I don't think it's the hardest job in the world to bring in Diaz and try and get him working alongside Laporte and Stones and get Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker's second choice right back at the moment. I mean, it's not a bad squad still. Bernardo Silva, one of the best technical players I've seen in the league. That squad is still very good minus De Bruyne. I'm not having the, what a magician he is because he's got no Kevin De Bruyne. Anyway, that aside, Liverpool lost to City. So I think that's fair enough. And Liverpool losing to Leicester, I think is fair enough again. Leicester are one of those annoying teams where if you beat them, it's like, oh, we've beaten Leicester. But if you lose to them, it's like,
they make you pay for it.
Oh my word! Like we're really struggling here, and also playing against Jamie Vardy causes Alisson to make the mistake that he did, because they are so conscious of that pace in behind that they've probably worked all week on training and counteracted. What does Vardy not want? Spacing behind. So Alisson has to play hard at the pitch. Therefore, he makes a mistake. Make no mistake about it. Liverpool will be back. They'll probably will get top 4. Well, no, they will get top 4. Definitely. They'll probably finish second.
What about for the Merseyside derby this weekend? I mean, it has become a much more even affair these days. And was the last one the 2-2 draw where Van Dijk got his injury?
I feel like Liverpool could maybe hopefully find a bit of form, but this is me really hoping.
No, I think Liverpool are bang favourites for this. I think they're like all over it. I think it's actually gone under the radar how poor Everton have been.
Yeah, they're sat lower than Liverpool in the form chart, aren't they?
Because, I mean, do they get put into the picture of a one-man team? Calvert-Lewin? I feel like they're just nothing without him. I mean, I know Richarlison's very good, but is Richarlison the player that he is when he isn't feeding someone like Calvert-Lewin?
Thing is, though, earlier in the season when Richarlison was out, that's when their results really fell off a cliff.
Yeah, no, you're right there, yeah.
But Everton are a bit funny, really, because, like, you know, they got that last minute, they scrapped that draw against Man Utd, which is obviously a good result because, you know, you think you're going to lose and you score in the 95th minute, it looks decent. But they probably should have lost that. They beat us, but their keeper had a worldie in the second half. Olsen, not Pickford, obviously, goes without saying.
Well, did you mention they're 2-0 against Newcastle as well?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Arguably the worst team in the league. Well, they are the worst team in the league, let's be honest. I mean, no one wants to watch Newcastle right now, do they? I know Fulham are playing all right, but like it's just that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about don't just look at it as losses, wins. Like Liverpool's losses, barring Brighton, which was a poor result, and that was the one that was poor. The other two, I don't think you can knock them for, and I think they're going to walk over Everton. Liverpool have not lost a Merseyside derby for over 10 years, and Mikel Arteta was got the winner last time that Everton won. Oh, I mean, Arteta on the winning side, that doesn't happen often, really, does it? So...
Oh, he's done us there.
It's not a burn, it's just a fact.
I don't know, Andy. You've gone too far. That's it. I'm ending the show now. Well, Arsenal's the kind of side now where I have literally seen them lose a 4-0 lead before. So I was like, even then I was like, I don't know. And then, especially because it was the 3 goals were in the first half, and then the fourth one was so early in the second half. I was like, you've given them so much time now to just turn the
you think the biggest weakness was going 4-0 up too early?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Famously,
space it out.
Famously, you don't want to go up 4-0 up too early in the game.
No,
Alex Ferguson always used to say that. Lads, just don't go up 4-0 too early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just on the PSG game as well. Obviously, we saw Moise Kean get a goal at the Nou Camp.
Noisy Ken.
It's in the Nelson Semedo bracket for me. Is that you suddenly surround yourself with world class players, and you suddenly you look like you're a half decent player, because with all respect to him, he did absolutely nothing in the Premier League. So he's done well at Juve to a degree. Unbelievable players around him. He's gone to Everton, good players, but not to that level. Mm-hmm. Struggled. And now he's gone back to PSG where he's got the best player in the world next to him.
I think you do have to take that into account. I was surprised to see Moise Kean play last night. I'd actually forgotten about him after he left Everton. And people were tweeting about him saying that, I can't believe it's the same player that was at Everton. And I looked up his stats this morning as well to see that he's actually scored a good few goals this season already.
It is the same player. It is the same player. He's just playing with better players.
You remember Everton, he had that thing where he was brought on as a sub and then brought off before the end. You know, and I know that's a kind of thing that is not tough for the confidence of a young player to take, especially when you just moved country into a new club and you don't speak the language and stuff like that.
Wasn't it Duncan Ferguson who did that? Was he acting manager?
Yeah.
He's the type of...
Now every single game he lifts up the substitutes board to signal a substitution. Like he's the fourth official. What's that about? Why does he keep doing it? Why can he not just let the... No, he's done it like 3 games in a row now. It's just like,
Is it lucky?
Okay, mate.
I mean, they haven't won, so.
But that Moisey Keane thing, sorry, before we move on, just reminds me of your claim as well that you could slot into the Liverpool defence alongside Van Dijk. It just depends on the players that you're surrounded with. So it's a position you've stuck with. So
Hey, look, you put me up top with Mbappe last night. I might get on the end of one. I reckon I might.
If you could keep up.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see
the changing room.
Did you see PK, mate? He was towing a caravan second half. Hey, look, I'm getting 5 goals playing alongside Mbappe. I am.
Across.
5 goals?
I am.
he's not
Over the
passing
course-
to you.
Over the course of the season, I'm getting 5 goals.
Mbappe doesn't even like passing to Icardi. He only passes to Neymar. He's going to pass to you.
You play Neymar off the left, Mbappe through the middle, and I'll just come in off the right,
And
drifting.
Taylor just drifting in off the
And I'm
right.
drifting in. I've got Di Maria behind me.
You talk about, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar, Taylor. Just
No,
fits,
but look,
doesn't it?
it'll
Just
be the best front
sounds
three. It'll be the best front three in the world. Neymar and Mbappe. It would.
Taylor.
I'd love to see the pie chart of the goals divided between them at the end of the season. It's just Taylor. It's just
You get those classic statistics like, PSG's front 3 have scored 150 goals between them.
And Taylor's 1.
Yeah. Neymar 70 and Mbappe 80.
I would work well under Pochettino as well. I know he'd get the best out of me. He would get me playing above what at the level I probably should be.
Well, that's all from us this week, folks. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Dream Team Coach TV, brought to you by Betway. So update those dream teams, enjoy the football, and we will see you again next week. Take care.